Hey everybody, GameHound's podcast. How are you? We are back. We're still setting up for the full show, but we're almost done. Nick, what did you play this week?
I had every intention of playing something other than Elden Ring, and I didn't. So, just Elden Ring.
Right. Yeah, and all I did was play City Skyline. So we're not going to have much to talk about games wise, which is fine because we got a lot of news.
Mhm.
Who we got in the chat room?
AC
Got
Wraith.
AC Wraith, of
Yeah.
course.
Oh,
Hey,
are
AC.
you happy, Shepard? You comfortable now?
You liking the speakers still? They still doing it for you? He says, I played a robot named Fight and Warframe. What a freaking surprise.
Yeah.
I went to the Giants game yesterday
Oh yeah, that's
by
right.
myself.
How was it?
It was
Did
weird
they?
going by myself.
Yeah.
They lost.
No.
It's all right.
Fuck
They
off.
they they won. They won the day before. They won opening day. Um, yeah. My next game is May 10th. You may want to come with me.
Okay, May 10th.
I think it's a Saturday, and I think it's May 10th.
So I know.
No. It's Tuesday. Never mind. My next one after that is a Monday. My next one after that is hey, you want to go June 11th? It's going to be a good one. It's a Saturday. Dodgers versus
Okay.
Giants. If it was a game
Uh,
Dodgers versus Giants, who would you be rooting for?
I don't know either of them. I don't.
All right, you're not allowed to go to that game.
Who are the? What are the Dodgers? What is the city?
Los Angeles.
Okay. Oh, Giants of San Francisco, right? Still, they didn't move. The A's moved, right? I know someone moved.
Never mind. You're not coming to a ball
No,
game with me.
who moved? Didn't the
I
A's
need you
move?
to be interested in the game because I go to ball
Look,
games to watch the game.
look, I'm interested in the games. I just don't know any of the context around the games.
All right.
A sports game for me is like jumping into Game of Thrones season 6, episode 3, without having seen any of it. That's what it's like.
All right.
So okay, who moved? The Oakland A's moved, right? Aren't
Oakland
they in
A's.
like
No, they
Vegas or
want to
something?
move. They want that. They'll still be the Oakland A's. They want a new
Who moved?
ballpark.
Oh, it was the football team that
49ers.
moved.
49ers
Yes,
moved to
they
Santa
moved.
Clara.
Did he move to Santa Clara? I thought they moved like to Vegas or some
That's
bullshit.
the Raiders.
Oh, okay. The Raiders moved.
Oakland Raiders moved to Las Vegas.
See, I vaguely know of
Wow.
stuff that's going on. I know when
Wow.
big things happen.
Sort of. You know, sort of something happened, but you don't know exactly what happened. Okay,
Yeah.
so yes, the San Francisco Giants have I call it a brand new ballpark because I grew up going to Candlestick. In fact, I bought my seat license for my season seats in the new ballpark before the ballpark was even built. So I've had
Oh,
them since before the ballpark was built. Um,
wait. Whose stadium is the crypto.com bullshit stadium?
I don't know. Whose stadium is crypto.com?
Some
Go chat room.
It used to be like the Staples Center, and then crypto.com
The
bought it.
Staples Center is Los Angeles, I believe. That's where the Lakers play.
Okay.
Is it the
So
Staples Center? I believe. I'm not that good with basketball. But and this is something that even if you're not a sports fan, all you non-sports fans,
oh yeah.
curl together, circle up, circle up.
Okay.
We need to talk. We need to have a chat.
The
You
Los
need to come
Angeles
here.
Clippers are
Clippers.
now play in the crypto.com arena,
Okay, the
which I
Clippers
feel
play.
like I wouldn't go to just out of spite.
Well, you shouldn't go to a Clippers game anyway. All right, so
Ooh, shade.
gather together, my little non-sports fans. There's a couple of things you need to understand about baseball. This will get you a very long way. Baseball rivalries are no freaking joke.
There are 3 bases, 4 if you count home.
Now that's stuff that everybody knows, or generally speaking. I'm talking about the important stuff.
The
The
meta.
rivalries. San Francisco and LA. LA pretends that they don't have a rivalry with us. We always understood we have a rivalry with them.
Oh,
And they act like they don't, but then we send our we like have games down there, and they like brain our fans who actually go to Dodger Stadium. They literally put them in comas. Yeah, so that's an ugly one. We're not ugly. We understand we hate them, but we keep it on the field. Their fans don't. They just want to murder people because they're Dodger fans and they're awful. They're miserable. They are. Just
okay.
send them to Russia because they'll be good there. They'll get along just fine with Putin. That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
That's how
Dodgers
much we hate
fans,
Dodger
scum
fans.
of
That's
the
how
earth.
much we hate the Dodgers. Scum of the earth.
Okay.
The other big rivalry, and actually bigger than way bigger than ours, is the Yankees. New York Yankees, who pretty much everybody doesn't like, but who really hates them is the Boston Red Sox.
New York and
New
Boston.
York and
Okay, I can
Boston
see that.
is no joke. Like, I don't know that people actually get murdered in the parking lot, but that's LA, They like to pretend that they're OG, but they're not.
LA, they like to murder people.
It's LA. They're just
There's like a
miserable
murder
people.
on every corner,
Mhm.
every street corner.
Bitter says in Chicago, it's North Side versus South Side. Cubs. That's right. Cubs fans versus Sox fans. But that makes sense. That is a healthy rivalry because you have 2 ball teams in the same city. And that's another really, really long one, but it's not White Sox and White Sox and Cubs. Yeah, that's a rivalry, but nobody beats the Red Sox versus the Yankees for rivalry. No question. Thank you for
Okay.
the link to the crypto.com arena.
What about the Globetrotters versus the team they always play?
I used to know the name of the Globetrotters, the team that played the Globetrotters. Someone will know that in the chat room, or someone can look it up on Wikipedia.
Because from what
Yeah,
I understand, the
they
Globetrotters has
actually
always won. So
right,
it
they're
sounds
the
like this
winningest
is
team in basketball.
yeah. I imagine that rivalry runs real deep. There's some real hate there.
It's not much of a rivalry, but yeah, I used to know the name of the basketball team that always plays the Globetrotters. And Pist says, I'm a fan of both. And yes, it's a healthy ribbing rivalry. Sox Cubs. Yep. Kind of like it's a healthy ribbing rivalry between the Giants and the A's. Now we play in different different divisions, different leagues, but still there's like you can't be an A's fan and a Giants fan. You got to pick one.
Okay,
A
it's
lot
for
of people are,
generals.
and you're like, no, like real hardcore fans, like baseball fans like me, are like, no, you've got to have one favorite. You can't just go, I love all baseball. It's kind of like LA Dodgers and Anaheim Angels. Although used to call themselves Los Angeles Angels. Now they build the Anaheim Angels. But they had 2 teams. And there was never really a healthy rivalry because everybody piled onto the Dodgers because the Dodgers were a super, super winning baseball team until the Angels won the World Series, and then everybody was an Angels fan because that's how LA is. That's how LA is. Like if the Oakland A's won the World Series, I would be super happy for them, but I would never call myself an A's fan. I would just say I am really like excited, happy. I would root for them, but I wouldn't call myself an A's fan. But Dodger fans, if Anaheim's doing well, all of a sudden they're Anaheim fans. Anyway, that's enough sports talk. Let's see. Okay, I need to check your levels for the podcast. Nick, say something.
Test, test. Hello, hello.
All
Most
right.
of my understanding of sports, most of my interest in sports comes from like the Olympics and other like national competitions where you don't really need. I always feel like sports games are a season of a TV show that's been ongoing that I haven't jumped into. Right? Like there's a
It's sort of like
whole
that.
there's a
Yeah.
history and a
Yeah.
context. All of the players are characters. Who's having a good year? Who's having a bad year?
That's absolutely true.
And
It's the longest running drama in
yeah,
American history is
and
baseball.
every team is its own series. So
Every
I
team has its
appreciate,
own internal strife. Some teams are hitting on all cylinders, and then some teams have just crazy ass years. Yep,
yeah.
absolutely.
So I always appreciate
That's
those
why
big
I love it. It's
national
the drama.
competitions because like it's a blank slate from the beginning.
Yep. All right. So, we do have your levels. You are definitely getting waveforms. I'm
Good.
assuming they sound
Good.
like you. All right. So, um, so we're ready to go in record
Okay.
time. All right. Let's do this. I have got. All right. We are recording, and now I've got to figure out a better way to do this music thing.
Like AC Wraith. I know more about Days of Our Lives.
Anytime you guys want to get together and talk about baseball or watch a game with me, I'm totally down for that. We can watch it together on Discord.
Yeah, we
Uh,
can watch you together in person. Fuck Discord.
well, I mean, I
Oh yeah,
can't
with
exactly
listeners. With
watch it with
listeners.
AC Wraith in
Yeah.
person, but I will walk you through I will walk you through the fine points of the bulk,
Okay, see, that's
the
why
most misunderstood and argued about violation in baseball, error in baseball is the bulk.
that's why I like watching
Heartbreaking.
football games with my dad because he can explain that history and context to me. Baseball games with my brother was the same way. In college, UFC games with a friend that I had then, like he knew the history of each of the fighters, so it's like, okay, I know going in, this is like the climax to a story. This is cool.
Mhm. Yeah, you got somebody to walk you through it. Kinda like
Yeah.
when I was walking Kevin through the first few episodes of Game of Thrones. Like,
Mhm.
we had to stop, and I had to explain stuff because he would forget.
I'm AC Wraith, I'm so with you. I feel the same way.
What?
He says, I get more out of watching people play a sports video game than watching an actual game.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but like watching people play Madden in competition is great.
Gully says, "My favorite thing about baseball is the cheerleaders."
Wait, does baseball have cheerleaders? Oh,
Well, I mean, they got the mascots. We have Lucille,
I don't know
who
what that is.
it's a seal named Lou.
Oh.
We have Lucille. We had years ago, and I miss him. I really, really, really miss him. We had a mascot called Crazy Crab, and it was a giant crab that would run around and just run around and just run around. And the whole point of Crazy Crab was for him to be hated. So as soon as Crazy Crab came out on the field or out on the top of the dugouts, everybody in the whole place started booing, just booing him. That was the whole point, was to boo Crazy Crab. And I absolutely loved that about him because you could have this is back in the Candlestick Park. Candlestick Park at the end, they were lucky if they had 7,000 people in fans. Like the normal now, like yesterday's game was 38,000 people in the stands. There were times I went, there were 5,000 people in the stands. And everybody would be cold and miserable on a night game, tired after work, midweek night game, like a Thursday night, Crazy Crab would come out and the place would go nuts. Everybody would boo no matter what, like the whole place. So I miss Crazy Crab because he was the non-mascot. He was the anti-mascot. And I love that San Francisco had the anti-mascot. But now we have Lucille and everybody loves Lucille, but I miss Crazy Crab. AC Ray says my family holidays are filled with football and TV that nobody but maybe one in-law watches. I know. There's that. It's not really Thanksgiving unless there's a football game on TV. So let's let me stop the recording again.
Why?
So that I can, because otherwise it's too hard for me to find the beginning of the recording.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's just easier for me to start it over again. Let me go to essential show tracks and all right, start in show. Hello and welcome to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 634. We are recording this on Sunday, April 10th, 2022. I'm Edie Sellers. With me is Nick DiNicola and everybody in the chat room. And it's just Kumbaya freaking yeah right here. How are you, Nick?
AC Wraith mentioned that he knew more about this guy that used to stream Oregon Trail on Twitch than sports, and I just realized Oregon Trail was like the first roguelike. Wasn't it? Was Oregon Trail before Rogue?
That is a good question. I don't know. It could.
But it certainly feels
I
like
think it is.
like the predecessor for that whole genre.
Let's see. Oregon Trail. The video game was started in 1974.
Okay,
So
when
I
did
think Rogue was
No, yeah, Rogue came out in 1980.
yeah,
Okay.
1980.
Oregon Trail, the first roguelike.
Right. So really Rogue isn't a roguelike.
It's an
Rogue
Oregon
is a
Trail
trail
like.
like.
Yeah. We should rename the entire genre. It's all a misnomer.
That is an argument you could absolutely make. If you were an academic, I would say you should write that paper.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're back. Another week. How was your week, Nick?
It was good.
Yeah. Do anything interesting?
Not really. I think I had said it in the pre-show. I meant to play other things except Elden Ring, and those plans kind of fell through. I've been wanting to watch a new show because I finished. I forget what it is that I finished, but I finished watching something, and I haven't really picked up anything new because I've just been playing Elden Ring. So I feel like I want to start something big that I can sink my teeth into.
Right.
And part of me thinks either Vikings, which is on Netflix, The Lost Kingdom, or The Last Kingdom, which is on Netflix, or
The Last Kingdom.
Yeah, The Last Kingdom.
The Last Kingdom.
Or it's the last 2 seasons of The Expanse.
Last Kingdom.
Last Kingdom?
Last Kingdom.
Okay. That's
Last Kingdom is so good. I am Uhtred, son of Uhtred. You are going to be sick of that phrase. I am Uhtred, son of Uhtred. Yeah, no, Last Kingdom. It's really, really good.
Okay.
Well, I mean, are you feeling very science fiction-y or feeling very fantasy-y?
Either way, like I just kind of want a show, like something that I could watch.
I think Expanse is a bit more cerebral than Last Kingdom. Last Kingdom's a bit
Mm.
more
I mean,
accessible.
I part of it is I need something to get me to like the 23rd when the final season of Ozark comes out.
Okay.
Because I'm really looking forward to that. The like season 4 part 1 of Ozark, I finished over the course of like 3 days and was up till 4 a.m. to watch that last episode. That's a really, really good show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need something to sink my teeth into.
We're talking about Oregon Trail. Bitters says, I remember I played Oregon Trail and named the first 3 party members after you all.
Did any of us live?
Did any of us live? Yeah, that's a good question.
I remember playing XCOM, the remake of XCOM that came out a little while ago, and having people named Goalie, Nick, and Edie. And I remember Edie became the badass shotgun wielding, like you could do 2 turns to do 2 movement turns at once with a shotgun, kill people in 1 hit. You ended up becoming a psychic, and you were ultimately the one that sacrificed yourself to save the world.
I am playing, and we'll talk about it in a bit, but I'm playing City Skyline.
He
What?
says we all perish.
We all perish. That doesn't surprise me. I wouldn't survive on the Oregon Trail. I'm playing City Skyline right now. And that's all I'm going to say about all I'm playing because it's nothing incredibly new. I've been messing with mods and trying to. I just kind of got into the mood of it. Kind of wanted to build something that was a long term build. I've been finding that I'm craving that more than sitting down and playing a game for a bunch of hours. It's just working on something that just keeps going after,
Hmm.
a period of time. And I started a new city that I haven't named the city, but I have districts, and I've been naming all the districts after all of both the hosts of GameHounds and the listeners. AC Wraith University is one that I remember.
Hmm.
Your D. Nicola Park.
Okay.
We
Okay.
have Gully Gardens. Where else do we have? We have Tim Farms. That's my um, uh, uh, um, um, agricultural area. Hawks. I forget what Hawks is. I think it's Hawks Vista. Is another area that I've
Which
created.
location has the most crime?
I haven't even looked at crime yet because it's still we're only 3,000 people. It's not that many people.
Okay. Okay. It's
But I
small town.
intend to use everybody here. Bitters actually ended up where did Bitters end up? I can't remember what Bitters is. Bitters, I think it might be my industrial park. Bitters Industrial Park. No, no, Bitters. No, you're my major intersection over the highway that goes into Hawks View is Bitters Parkway. But I had to make AC Wraith University because he's the smartest of all of us. Oh, and I couldn't fit in Bloody Reaper or Blood Reaper, so I had to make it B Reaper. What is it? B Reaper. You're definitely in there, and I can't remember what part of my city you are, but you definitely have a district that's named after you. I should have taken a screenshot. And
Yeah.
if I didn't think that loading it up right now would crash my freaking computer, it might not.
Yeah. Next week we'll get a
Yeah, next
screenshot
week
of the Game
I'll
Hounds
pull it up. What I'll do
town.
is I'll pull,
The Game Town.
let's just see. Let's just see if this crashes my computer cuz you're in here. You can cover for me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try to do uh uh
Okay. Well, you do that. AC Wraith brought up Star Dynasties released a new DLC that's like Crusader Kings in space.
mhm.
And I remember listening to people on a podcast talk about Star Dynasties a while ago, and it sounded like a pretty cool game. It it was it was that kind of civilization building, but one that really, really focused on the interpersonal dynamics because
Mhm.
like you take over an area, but you had to assign a leader that was like your cousin. And if you assign it to him, he then likes you more, but then all your other cousins like you less. And so that specific type of family dynamic was like the overarching strategy, less so than, civilization building.
Right.
And it was kind of like the Dune style civilization building was all about families and appropriately enough dynasties.
All right. I'm loading in. It is loading in very, very slowly. And on top of that, I can't see you right now.
Oh yeah.
Because it's full screen and I have to get into the loading screen of the game,
Mm-hmm.
to actually turn it into a Windows mode. So stand by. Oh, it's chugging. It's chugging hard.
Your video
Oh.
is like still coming through pretty well. Oh, okay, you kind of froze for a half second, but yeah,
Uh,
you're still doing really well.
all right. It looks. Is it happening? Is it? Oh, I'm so sorry. Maybe my computer just went.
So, okay,
Sorry, baby. I'm
I
so
know
sorry.
we
I don't want to
can
hurt you.
share tabs for like Chrome and stuff. Can we
Right. I'm
share
gonna.
just the screen in general?
Oh, hold on a second. Let me get.
You would have
All
to
right.
like Alt Tab and that'll freeze the computer for 30
Options.
seconds.
Hold on a second. We want to go to windowed. We want to go to audio and take down the volume completely. Okay. Are we windowed? Hold on. Oh, this is gripping.
Audio? Oh yeah.
Yeah, podcast, by the way. I'm really sorry, podcast
I can
listeners.
describe the way Edie looks now. I can see the sweat beading on her forehead as she tries
Oh,
to do this really
all right.
quickly. It's
It
very
appears to
intense.
be windowed. Good. Uh, normal. Apply. It's working.
Oh yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Pissed. Does
What?
Pissed have a district?
Does Piss? I think Piss does have a district, and if not, he's going to be my next district.
Yeah,
Share
the bot
screen.
in Discord is named after Piss, which I always thought was cool.
I can't look at that. It's working. All right.
Oh, it is.
There we go.
Nice.
I'm sorry. Bitters Park. We got AC Wraith University, Dinicola Estates.
Oh yeah.
Uh, we got Goalie Park, Andrew Shores. I forgot about that.
Ah,
Tim
Tim Farms.
Farms. We didn't name it. Yeah, Bitters Park. We didn't name it. Bloody. I know I have a Bloody Reaper. Where did I get rid of my Bloody Reaper district? I did. I think that the Bloody Reaper district was here until I put in the university. Yeah, we had a little bit of an issue with the industrial park. Is that it? This must not be my most, because I know I had a B Reaper was the district. Maybe I deleted that district and I have to put it in again. But yeah,
Are
there's
these
my
sections
districts.
connected?
Got a
Oh, it's a tunnel. Okay, that
tunnel,
makes okay.
and then we got a walking park over the top where I put in this view. Yeah, this was supposed to be B Reaper view. I guess this is not showing up as a park anymore. Got 2 tunnels actually. But yeah. So there you go. There's my lovely town, my lovely city. So there you go. All of that. Sorry, honey, I just made you like struggle just to show off. But yes, I'm naming all of my stuff after.
Well, now you know your computer can do it.
Yeah, it's not happy about it, but it's doing it. Now let's see what happens when I quit. Desktop. Good. So what the interesting thing that actually happened to me this week, I got my second booster because I'm of that age. Uh-oh. Nick,
AC.
I lost you. I lost
Oh,
your audio. Let's see.
can
What
you
could
hear
it be?
me
Oh, it must be
now?
City Skylines that's doing it. See, I knew
You
City
are
Skyline was
fine.
gonna have some kind of revenge on me. Hey, chat room, are you hearing Nick?
This is Nick. Can anybody hear me? Into the void?
Oh, I am not hearing Nick.
Am I? alive? Can anybody hear me? Am I
Nothing,
just an
nothing,
invisible man?
nothing. Let me see if I'm getting any waveforms on your end. No waveforms on your end. So we may have to restart the show because I wanted to show off. You guys can hear both. Well, that's good. So it's on my end that it is a problem. So I may have to leave and come back. I will go do that right now. So, Nick, the show is yours.
Okay. Well, in that case, I can just talk about some Elden Ring because that's kind of all I've been playing. Even though I've really wanted to stretch out and try other things, every day after I end work, I just think, yeah, I want to play some Elden Ring, and I'm at the point where I think one of the cool things about that game is the versatility of the builds. And I think I'd said this last week that I had started as a very melee focused character and I'm now trying to switch into more magic focused. And the game fully supports that. And it's come in handy in some fights to actually help me win by keeping distance and using magic. Um, yes, very cool. That's why I have it. It's not just because I've been lazy for half a week and have not shaved because of Elden Ring. I'm going to totally blame Elden Ring for that. I could take 20 minutes to shave, or I could just try to fight a boss for the umpteenth time. But yeah, that game, again, it's shockingly big. I'm like 65 hours in, which normally I would have beaten a Souls game in that time. And I think I'm just maybe halfway through. Areas just keep going. I know there are at least several huge areas that I have not even been to. And part of the reason I keep playing it is I have gotten into the habit of just looking up walkthrough videos. Hey, things that you've missed here. And so even though I could go off into new areas, I spend most nights poring over the little tiny cracks of areas that I've already been to kind of wring the most that I can out of it. And that feels good. It feels good to actually to not feel like I'm missing half the game, which I know is kind of part of the appeal, but I would prefer to like find every boss and at least fight every boss, even if I'm not going to beat them all. But to see all the corners of that game and to not just leave them black. I want to see all that the game has to offer, and that is just stretching out the gameplay for into infinity. I'll be playing that thing the rest of the year probably.
So I am back. Sorry about that, everyone. I knew that I wasn't going to get out of there scot free without some kind of horrible thing happening, and it did.
So I assume you can hear me.
I can hear you now.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So, yeah, I got my booster this week, and I had been Pfizer all the way through, and this time I decided to get a Moderna, and
Which
I'm
is
glad
good
I
because
did.
I've heard that mixing them actually helps your immunity.
It does. That being said, holy buckets, did the Moderna knock me on my ass. I didn't have any fever, I didn't have any chills, I didn't have anything. I just remember waking up 2 days later to go to work, and I was dizzy, like, I couldn't wake up, I didn't sleep well, and then when I woke up, I was just so exhausted, and that was Thursday, and then Friday, I actually had to take a day off of work because I couldn't wake up. I couldn't get out of bed. Like,
Mm.
I forced myself to get out of bed after, being in bed for 8.5 hours because the dogs needed to pee, but I took them out, I made them pee, and I came right back to bed, and I just lay in bed, and I didn't sleep great at all. The sleeping was horrible. But on top of that, it's like you wake up and you're just dizzy, you feel drunk. It's a crazy, crazy feeling. But, Thank you for the link for the coronavirus COVID-19 update. FDA authorizes second booster dose of 2 COVID-19 vaccines for older and immunocompromised individuals. I would like to say I'm immunocompromised in that equation, but no, it's because I'm older and I can get one. But it was super easy to get. Walked in, they say, "What flavor do you want?" I'm like, "I want to go Moderna." And 2 days later, I couldn't get out of bed. So, and I had a horrible headache, and I don't get headaches. So, it's a I'm glad I did it, but still, it was touch and go there for a while. There was a time when I was like, I just remind myself, I'm healthier for doing this. I'm healthier for doing this. I'm healthier for doing this.
This
It's a
was the
good
right
thing.
thing to do.
This was the right thing to do. And Bitter says, "How cool is your stubble right now?" For those of you on the podcast, yeah, Nick is full stubble at the moment.
Yeah. When you're gone, I blame Elden Ring.
So it's a Elden Ring stubble as opposed to a 5 o'clock. Elden
Yeah.
Ring shadow.
Yes, yes. It's an Elden Shadow.
Yeah.
I think I killed that enemy.
uh, AC Ray says my Moderna booster best messed me up, but the initial shot was fine. And Moderna, from what I have heard from medical professionals, is the tougher of the two vaccines.
Hmm.
It's tougher on you, but is also tougher um, for the virus as well. So it's a good thing to mix and match for those two. But yeah, that was my big thing of the day. Is I actually went out to a Giants game and made myself sick.
Hmm.
Mutually exclusive, not connected to each other at
I'm
all.
I'm this week I've realized I am increasingly tempted to try to make myself sick because there's a bunch of movies coming out I want to see. And so I was actually looking like, okay, when can I schedule this to like do a double feature? And the timing didn't quite work, but like come maybe tonight or like tomorrow night, I'm gonna go spend a solid like 4 6 hours in a theater.
Not gonna lie, I thought about going on a Saturday to get my booster, which I could have done, but I opted to do Wednesday so that I knew that I would be sick on Thursday and Friday to make it a 3-day weekend. I absolutely
Mm,
scheduled that, and it
yeah,
hit just right.
it was good planning.
Mhm. Dolly Parton funded his Moderna booster, by the way. It's as tough as a coal mine. Oh, no. Dolly Parton helped fund the Moderna booster? Really? It is it is as tough as a coal miner's daughter. Mean as one, too. So, well, we already talked about what you've been playing, right? I
Yeah,
mean, Elden
that's
Ring, we don't need to talk about anymore. City Skyline, I don't need to talk about anymore. They are old. They're not say old games, but we've talked at great length about them.
yeah.
I gotta
I've
play. There is a game coming up in the news that I think you and I we've played it before. We need to go back. There's DLC for it, and I'm
oh really?
interested to jump back in.
Hmm.
It's
Okay.
it's a game I think and we still have to finish up
Little Hope.
Little Hope.
Yeah. I honestly I've played all three of those games. We haven't finished Little Hope, but I do think it's the weakest of the three.
Yeah, so
Um
far seems
I
that way.
because the other one, the House of Ashes, I think that one was really fun and compelling. I
Mhm.
think Man of Medan is actually really, really good. Little Hope, it doesn't quite push you forwards as much. There's not quite this immediate threat that makes you want to see what happens next. It's a lot of these characters just kind of wandering a town, spooky shit happens, and then you wander the town some more, and some more spooky shit happens. Like the other ones are much more propulsive.
Yes, where you feel imminent death by staying in one place.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. Um, so, I mean, I know this might be the world's earliest. Let's hit the news.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I will say, one thing I'll probably be doing a lot of, the Souls games have always took inspiration from Berserk, the manga. There was a sale on digital comics like the
Mhm.
past week, and volumes of Berserk that are normally like $10 were on sale for 4.
Oh, you picked them up? I hope you did.
I picked them up.
Good.
I picked up every single one. I picked up all 40 volumes.
Oh my god.
So, what's 4
You dropped
times
a stack on that.
what's 4 times 40 is $160.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Phew.
because I was planning to
Where
get
are
the
you going to put 40 volumes in your apartment? You're going to have to move all that crap off of your shelves back there.
No, they're ebooks. They're on my tablet.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. I've downloaded every single one. My brand new tablet that I got with increased space specifically so that I could fill it up with fucking comics.
Which
And
tablet did you get?
I got the first gen iPad.
Oh, first gen iPad?
Yeah, because it was cheap.
Wow. I use my first gen iPad next to my bed that all I use it for is a Kindle reader before I go to bed. And I felt guilty. It's like I've been looking at it going, God, I really should upgrade. This is kind of embarrassing. But
At first I thought you were gonna say all I use it for is a coaster.
well, it gets used by that for that too.
No, but I mean, all I need it.
But
Like, I watch some Netflix on it occasionally. Like, I'll be playing Elden Ring and have Netflix on the tablet next to me, and I can sort of half watch, listen to something. Or I read like comics and Kindle on it. I don't need a super powerful tablet for
you
it.
are the cheapest man I know.
I don't need a
And
super
and
powerful
I and
tablet
I
for
come
that.
from a very strong line of, like, Irish cheapskates. You are the cheapest man I know.
I know what I need out of my technology, and I know not to overspend. I'm not gonna get the iPhone 12 with its like Hollywood level camera because I don't need that.
I didn't say you have to get an iPhone 12, but I've had first gen.
So okay,
That's really
I
ratchet.
had like $500 worth of Amazon credits, and so I wanted to find something under that so that I could essentially get it for free.
How much was the first gen iPad on Amazon?
It was like 400, and then I bought
I sold my dad's first gen iPad for $25 used.
to who?
Garage sale, just get rid of it.
Oh my god.
This place is so full of iPads. I haven't even gone into Kevin's iPads. I mean, he has so many
Okay, if you
pads
have any
and
second or
screens.
third gen ones, I'll be happy to take them off your hands for $25.
I might charge you a little more than that, but now that I
Okay,
know what
okay,
they're worth,
30.
you should
30.
have told me, "Oh, that was a good price."
Yeah, $25. Oh yeah, that's you ripped them off.
But those are all used as well. But still, used electronics is still fine,
The,
especially if they're in good shape.
mine was used.
$400 used? You're joking.
Apple shit is absurdly expensive.
Was it from Apple?
No, it was like a reseller. So
Wow.
okay, I found them on eBay for like $300. But I wanted to use the Amazon credits. So I took that $100 hit in order to not pay anything out of pocket.
Still, yeah.
Yeah, still, fuck it. Anyways, I'm going to spend a lot of time reading Berserk because I have like a ton of it now.
Good. Good. All right. So, shall we hit the news now
Yes.
in record time?
That's all the big things that happened to me.
All right. Well, then let's hit the news. This is the GameHound's news, the news, views, and commentary of the week in gaming with Edie Sellers and Nick DiNicola. And our first item is
I think probably the biggest news is that Epic had a showcase called State of Unreal that basically showed off Unreal Engine 5. And I think this marked the full release of Unreal Engine 5 for like the public. Not anyone can use it now. Before it was still kind of in development and a select few developers were using it. Now it's fully released. And the stuff they showed off all looks really fantastic. And it's really sad. I think I've said it before. It's sad that this next gen engine that will make games look better than they have before is coming out like 2 years after the next gen consoles. It will take, I feel like we'll get PlayStation 6 will have Unreal Engine 5 games on it.
Yeah.
Like, that's how long it will take.
It may very well, but there's a lot of games that were announced that are coming over to Unreal Engine 5, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, we talked last week about how the next Witcher game is going to be on Unreal Engine 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a new Gears of War in development that's using it, which makes a lot of sense because it has that legacy of being an epic franchise.
Right.
But the probably newest one is that Crystal Dynamics announced. No, it wasn't Crystal Dynamics. Square Enix announced that a new Tomb Raider
It's
is
Crystal
being made.
Dynamics.
Are they making it?
That's what I heard. Crystal Dynamics revealed the new Lara Croft.
Okay, because I think the third one of the recent trilogy was made by someone else.
Yeah, no, let's see if I can get the notes on that.
Yeah, they said like it's not a reboot like that first modern game was.
Yeah, Crystal
but it's
Dynamics
a continuation.
announced it, and it was announced alongside the release of the Unreal Engine 5, as you had said. And it's going to unify the way that Crystal Dynamics described it. They're in it's in a very very early stages of development, and it's going to reportedly unify the timelines in the Lara Croft series.
Oh
So
no, are we getting like multiverse Lara Croft? I hope not.
No, I don't think so, because the original trilogy had the story of Lara's early days where she, essentially became who Lara Croft was. And
That's
then
true.
the classic games had a more like adult, like experienced Lara Croft.
Yeah.
Like she was like a seasoned Tomb Raider at that point. So
Okay.
this kind of bridges that between how she went from being a new kind of nascent Tomb Raider to the experienced Tomb Raider of the classic games.
Okay, that could be
So it's
interesting.
not a multiverse. It's just the missing parts of of Lara's development. It's the missing 33 years in the desert, or 30 years in the desert.
I'd be down for that. I liked the Crystal Dynamics Tomb Raider games. I think they
Yeah.
did a good job.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a thing that's happening. And my first item is, might as well hit it, this week in the Activision Blizzard shit show. Nick, I sent myself a message about this so that I had the links to this, but then I guess I couldn't find it, and I couldn't get it before the show. But you brought it. Blizzard this week announced that the QA testers that work at Blizzard are all being offered full-time positions. I should say most of them are being offered full-time positions at Blizzard. There is a catch, though.
Oh, me?
Throwing it to
Okay.
you. That was a pitch, Nick.
Strike one. Yes, all the QA testers are becoming full-time employees, except for the QA at Raven, who just happened to be the ones that were working to unionize.
Right. Dick move.
And so
Real dick move.
They specifically say in a statement to The Verge, a spokesperson for Activision Blizzard said, quote, all QA at Raven are full-time and already have access to full company benefits and eligibility to participate in the company's bonus program. Due to our legal obligations under the National Labor Relations Act, we cannot institute new pay initiatives at Raven at this time because they would be new kinds of compensation change. So they're specifically saying, oh, because like we have to deal with your union,
It's not our fault. You did it to
this.
yourselves.
Yeah.
Stop hitting yourself.
We
Stop
can't
hitting
give
yourself.
you these additional benefits because our hands are tied.
Our hands are tied. We can't help you. You just shouldn't have tried to unionize. Then
Hmm.
you could be with the rest of the family having a party. Ugh. Yeah, yeah. Dick move. Dick move. There's ways around that. They just chose not to employ them.
Yes.
My full first item is that Ubisoft this week proved why NFTs are a bad freaking idea. They announced this week that they would be no longer providing DLC for Breakpoint. Now, if you recall back in December, um, they Ubisoft announced that they were having NFTs. They dubbed those NFTs digits that would be unique items. Essentially, they weren't very unique skins to your guns and your weapons and your ammo. They just had a serial number, and these were NFTs. And they, at some point, could be very valuable that you could trade to other people or sell to other people for real cash money. The thing is that just 4 months after they announced the NFTs, the Breakpoint developers have announced that no further content is going to be produced for Breakpoint, which means that these digits are on their way to being useless because without DLC, without more updates to the game will die. Um, and that is the problem. The lack of support of and the lack of new content. Um, it doesn't mean that they're going to necessarily break. It's the games like the NFTs are going to lose their value, and I'm air quoting value very heavily, instantly. But it certainly does affect the popularity of the game over time. And it essentially puts the game on life support mode. And then ultimately, that game is going to shut down. And when the servers shut down, the NFTs go away.
Uh,
And the NFTs cannot be transferred over to other games. So essentially, they have rendered these NFTs that they say is, and Sega said the same thing, that NFTs is the eventual progression, it's the eventual evolution of gaming. They just proved why it's not an evolution of gaming, it's a cash grab. And this is a very slow rug pull, but it is a rug pull.
so looking into the future, we see exactly that thing happened with F1 Delta Time, which was a crypto powered racing game that launched in 2019, and it was an officially sponsored game for F1. The game announced its closure on March 15th, and it would shut down on March 16th, giving all the players 1 day announcement. So what makes this even worse than Ubisoft is that some of these cars, some of the NFT cars for this game was sold for over $100,000.
Oh my God.
This game had some of the bonkers super expensive NFT stuff. And now the game is shut down.
Oh, it's a rug pull.
You
It's a
cannot play
flat
it.
rug pull.
You cannot play it. The thing you spent $100,000 on is just gone. So
Oh my God.
the developer knows that this is kind of some bullshit, and they've tried to offer replacement tokens for a different racing game. Because the developer Animoca has um, another racing game called Rev Racing, I think. And they basically say like, oh yeah, depending, you'll see replacement cars that are equivalent to your F1 Delta Time cars, but A, it's not an officially licensed car. It's for a completely different game. So none of the value that came from that officially licensed NFT car actually transfers over.
Right.
You're giving someone a new gaming asset, yes, but none of the perceived value is being transferred. And yeah, it if anything, this I'm glad that this has happened relatively quickly because it really gives like a it it's not a shot in the arm. What's the opposite of a shot in the arm? It
Punch to the gut.
punch to the gut of anyone trying to sell NFTs. Like it pulls the legs out from under them. This undercuts every argument you have against NFTs because this does the exact thing that they say NFTs are supposed to prevent, which is that you invest in a digital item and then it disappears.
Right. And
Like
it's to be held, it's yours
yeah,
forever. It belongs to you.
but
No,
it's not.
no, no, it
It's
doesn't.
not. It doesn't
It's
have
not.
permanent value. It's not a permanent thing.
It's a cash grab. It's
Mhm.
it's it's a scam. The cake is a lie. It's a trap. All the memes.
Yes.
Bitter says in other news, new mod for Horizon Forbidden West replaces Aloy with Edie from GameHound's 100% of the male player base installed. Yay! I would love that. No, that's fake news. Wish it was real. Wish it was real. It is not. Uh, the I who is telling these developers? You
Well,
know, I'm watching
I
I'm
don't
watching what's going
blame the
on in
developers.
Ukraine, and everyone is saying that one of the reasons why this is going the way it's going is because Putin is not getting all the information, and his closest advisors are afraid to tell him how bad it's going.
Yeah.
I get that there is a very similar thing happening in the game developer space, that developers are not watching YouTube. They're not watching Twitch.
Well,
They're not reading articles. They're not talking to gamers. They're talking to their bros sitting around talking, their NFT bros, their crypto bros, and not actually listening to what anybody is saying that's actually supposedly a consumer of these NFTs and of these games.
I don't think it's the developers. I think it's the the publishers,
The
the
publishers.
people
I'm
above
sorry,
them,
the
the
publishers.
bosses. Like
Yes.
we saw this with Ubisoft, where there were stories on all sorts of websites about interviewing employees at Ubisoft, going, "This is a bad idea. Nobody wants to do this, but fucking Yves is like, hey, let's do this." And like, oh shit, we
Right.
have to find a way to implement it. We know it's gonna suck, but we're being forced to do this.
Bringing it back to politics, it's one of the problems with an oligarchy where only rich people run your government is that they have absolutely no clue about what's going on with the common person who's actually paying the taxes. Similar, Eves is not hanging out with your average gamer. Eves is hanging out with a bunch of very rich guys who, if they lose $100,000, it's not that big a deal. They're not hearing that nobody wants this. Everybody sees it's a scam. Everybody but his crypto bros, because his crypto bros are running the scam. Yeah. It's somewhere between oligarchy and kleptocracy.
It's a cryptocracy.
It's a cryptocracy. It's a
Cryp-
very that's yes,
crypto,
that's a
crypto.
cryptocracy. That's what it is. Perfect name for it. The cryptocracy, where it's rich people listening to their friends who have enough money to lose on this shit that it doesn't
Yeah,
hurt them, and that are running scams so that they can make more money off of people who can't afford to lose it. There, I said it. Good. I think that is a perfect way of in fact, go my minions. Bring that word out to a cryptocracy. understanding that these are people who do not understand their core audience, don't understand, talk to, or respect gamers. They're not one of us.
I saw
Revolution.
I saw
Get your
some
pitchforks.
story, and I don't think it was this one, but I saw some story um where someone was talking about NFT games and how they're sold as a play to earn, right? Like, oh, you play this and you earn this, and that makes your play time into actual investment, right? You're playing to earn. And the article basically said like that's a bad idea because it means that you have no leisure time, because even your leisure time is work. There's a difference between play to earn and play and earn.
Right.
If you're playing with the intention of earning, then you're not really playing. If you're playing and just kind of earning something on the side that you could use down the line, that's beneficial. Like that's an actual added value element. But when you build the entire structure around that side benefit, then it ceases to be a side benefit.
It's the difference between healthy gambling and unhealthy gambling.
Yeah, yeah.
If
I
you're
forget
playing,
where
if
I
you're
saw it.
gambling in order to earn, that's your goal, is to make money, those are the people that actually have to go to groups and like, Gamblers Anonymous, because they're
Yes.
all about the earning. And the thing is, you will never earn because the odds are against you. You
Mhm.
can't make money gambling. Um, However, playing like I go, I love to gamble. I love blackjack. I really love blackjack. But um I I know I'm gonna lose. Chances that like I might come away with some money, that'd be great, but chances are I'm probably gonna lose. And all I do is add up how many hours did I sit at that blackjack table? How much did it cost me? Did I feel like I got my money's worth? Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
It's an enjoyable game. It's not about I'm here to win a bunch of money. That's a guaranteed way to make sure that you end up in some kind of, you know, self-help program, getting
yeah,
yourself off of it. Logic hounds, yeah. I just hate it when we make sense. We're much more fun when we make no sense whatsoever. So what's our next item?
Next one is that the World of Tanks developer Wargaming is pulling all of its company out of Russia and Belarus because of the invasion of Ukraine. And that's kind of a big deal because Wargaming was originally a Belarusian,
Mm-hmm.
is that how you'd say it?
That's how you say it.
A Belarusian company. And now they're they're moving it out. They're leaving their homes behind.
I think even if a company didn't support the Ukraine, it would be a bad idea to have your company, especially a tech company, in Belarus right now, because I think that more than one company is seeing what's happening with the sanctions on Russia. And if you are closely allied with Russia to the point of like where Belarus is, they know that those sanctions could happen to them. And if the internet gets shut off for Belarus, not saying that necessarily the world would shut off the internet from them, it's that their uh their government may shut down the internet the way that Putin has shut down the internet for Russia to
Mhm.
control information. Um, I would make it very hard for World of Tanks to do their work.
And because they're so central in that kind of Eastern European bloc,
Mhm.
they've they've had a lot to deal with the invasion.
Yeah.
Um, they also have a studio in Kiev, and actually in February they had to fire a creative director who made a statement in support of Russia.
Oh,
Um,
really?
and yeah, they've donated to Ukrainian Red Cross. They've provided alternate housing and stuff. Um, so they are a company that is, I think, doing the right thing in this situation, even if in the past they've had a lot of controversy around them.
Did you hear, by the way, we mentioned it a couple of weeks ago that Epic was giving what all the money from what was it 2 weeks worth of uh
Like sales?
sales for Fortnite, I want to say it was. I think that's what it was. To
I imagine that's
Ukraine,
actually
to
a
Ukraine
good
humanitarian.
chunk of money.
It was $139 million
Okay. Yeah, over 2 weeks.
over to it. Wasn't their subscription costs. It wasn't subscription sales. It was like in-game
Yeah.
purchases.
Well, I imagine, if they gave a percentage of all of the sales from the Epic Game Store, right? I imagine actually the Fortnite money from the past 2 weeks is more than what they made on the Epic Game Store in that same time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Absolutely.
they actually chose the bigger charitable option.
Yeah, yeah. So good for them. So our next item. Let's see, what else have I got? We already talked about the Activision shit show. We already talked about Blizzard. Oh, this one's for our fans. Warframe. Big announcement this week for Warframe. The Warframe there was the Warframe Dev Stream 161. They had it on Friday, and it brought with it new information on the upcoming Angels of Zariman update. So we have a solid April 27th release date. So it's a new patch that's going to add a bunch of stuff. And the Angels of Zariman is going to take us to the Zariman 10-0 ship directly following the events of the new war, and it's going to add a whole new hub, and it's going to have a story critical quest line that is going to determine what the players can expect from the game in the future. So I don't know if it's a quest line or it's an individual quest, but it's like this is the kind of the that's going to be the determiner path of what happens for you in your game in the future. So the updates again drop, and the new quest drops April 27, and the quest itself is only going to be available to players who have beaten the new war, which new wars kind of be the bottleneck to all future content updates. So if you haven't started the new war, you want to start it. Like that's going to be your entryway into all this and all future updates for the game.
Cool.
And anybody, I'm sure somebody mentioned something. Did somebody say anything? Anything
About Warframe?
Yeah, no, nobody says anything in the chat room about that. I'm really surprised. There we go. AC Ray says New War is a fun quest line on top of that. And he would know because he is the Warframe player. Oh yeah, and there's the link to the story about the Ukraine donation. Ukraine relief donation total is unlike anything the industry has ever seen.
Yeah, I saw that. And the total ended up being like 144.
144 million dollars. That's great. I'm super excited. I'm glad that you couldn't have had that much money go to somewhere that needed it as much as what's going on in Ukraine right now. That being said, it is staggering how much that game makes.
Yes.
If that's how much money they gave away in 2 weeks.
Well, in that article, it also mentions that this was the start of a new season for Fortnite.
Mhm.
So all those kind of microtransactions are kind of weighted for those 2 weeks because this is like the new season has begun. There's new
Oh,
stuff to
okay.
buy.
So you
There's
had
new things.
a lot of things in the store. It
Yeah,
was
so
not
it's kind
at
of
the
like
end of its life.
a
Okay.
burst of new stuff, and then I imagine it still makes a lot of money, but it's like they kind of chose the most profitable time to
Yeah.
donate.
You got anything else?
Yes, I accidentally closed the tab, but so I don't know the details. But I remember a while ago, uh, Gran Turismo 7 came out, and then after it came out, the the devs decreased the amount of rewards that you could get per race, while then offering microtransactions for you to buy that
And
money.
really predatorily structured uh microtransactions.
Yes, they have now eased up on that. Eh, and okay, I have all. I don't know what a lot of this means because I have not played the game. But in-game credit rewards in the lobby and daily races have been increased. The upper limit of free in-game credits has been increased from 20 million to 100 million. So that sounds like before you could only ever earn a max of 20 million free credits. Now you can earn way, way more.
Well,
Uh,
just added more grind time.
yeah, I mean, yes, but then they've also increased the rewards for arcade races and custom races. The in-game rewards for the latter half of the World Circuit events have been increased. There are new missions called the Human Comedy that are like really long endurance races that will award up to 1.2 million credits per event.
Okay, so that's
Um,
most of the way to a cost of one of the supercars.
So and yeah, and that's one event. So they've increased the rewards for a lot of things. They've increased the limit of what you can carry. It's
They caught a lot of heat for
I
that.
yeah, I
They
don't know
really did.
exactly what the perception of this is. Um like I don't know what the player base thinks of this. I think we'll have to wait a week before I can get those reactions. But
We'll
at least
know.
at least they have changed it.
Yeah,
At least there's
they
that.
responded, which is good that they responded. I don't know enough about Gran Turismo to be able to say whether these are good fixes or less than less than great. But at least, at the very least, I could say that it's good that they're listening and that they made some adjustments to a very, very, very bad adjustment.
Yeah.
Um, so, um, let's see. More news that's kind of cool. And remember, I said that there was a game that was going to come out that you and I should probably go back to because there's
Yeah.
DLC dropping. Back for Blood announced DLC.
Oh.
Turtle Rock and Warner Brothers this week gave us a look at the first add on for Back for Blood. It's dubbed Tunnels of Terror, and it's actually got quite a lot of stuff in it. This is the first major content drop since it was released and since it was launched last year. Tunnels of Terror is going to drop this Tuesday, so day after tomorrow, on all platforms. The expansion is going to be available as part of the game's Ultimate and Deluxe editions. It's also included in the annual pass and can be purchased separately. I don't know if it's part of the Game Pass. I be nice if it was, but I bought it on PlayStation, so I will have
I
access to purchasing it, I
Yeah,
guess.
I don't know if DLC is included in Game Pass um downloads.
Yeah. So, well, the nice thing about this also, remember, is that only one person in your party has to own the DLC.
Oh, okay,
Everyone
that's
else has
actually really cool.
access to the playable content, though it doesn't include skins, but at least it includes the actual game content. If only one person in your party has the DLC, which is hallelujah, freaking Turtle Rock, go you.
Hmm.
So here's what the expansion brings: two new cleaners, which are the player characters. Three new ridden, which are the special zombies. The two player characters are Charisse, who's a former firefighter, and comes with an axe and a couple of support passives, such as bonus to armor plates, trauma resistance, and a boost to team health, which is I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. The axe is one of my favorite things to play with, and having a boost to team health is actually a really good thing to have. Hang is the other cleaner. He's got a chef's knife and he has the ability to see through walls, sense hive entrances, and allow his team to reuse accessories, which is tasty. We like that. The biggest addition, though, is going to be ridden hives. When we talk about hive entrances, and you asked yourself, what's a hive entrance? That is going to be part of the DLC. Hives are a new co op activity that's going to have cleaners go down a big maze in an underground maze, tunnels like, and you're going to be faced with new ridden variants, tight corridor fights, and platforming challenges, and you all get rare rewards out of that. So,
Hmm.
yeah, it's it's actually really expands the game considerably. Two very interesting sounding new player characters, and to have this whole other aspect of the game being added is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Makes me want to go back. I love Back for Blood. I don't know why we don't play that more. I loved Back for Blood.
I think it was tough getting everyone's schedules to align to play
Yeah.
with like you, me, Andrew, and then whoever else we could rope into it.
Yeah, and you know, as typical with mini games, the quick matches where you're doing matchmaking tends, you know, you sometimes get really toxic people because of Game Pass. And I will say that's something about Game Pass that does not appeal to me. Is it when everybody, especially on Xbox, has access to that game for free and you've paid, I forget what you paid, $40 or something for it, $60, whatever it was. Um, that It used to be that the price of the game acted a bit like a gatekeeper. Like, you wouldn't just get
Mm.
a ton of people, and it's one of the reasons why free to play games like Fortnite tends to have a really toxic culture, is because, you know, I shouldn't say toxic, unfriendly, a very unfriendly um, multiplayer experience. When it's a smaller group of people, you tend to get, like, the assholes gets weeded out pretty fast because people just don't play with them. When you have it available to on Game Pass, it's super awesome for you as a player. But if you don't want to play with just your friends, inevitably you're gonna end up with a lot of like really shitty people to play with. Like, you get on a team and like within 3 minutes somebody's already talking crap about you. Like, you haven't fired a bullet yet and already some people are talking about what a shitty player you are. It's like, you know, A, you're not that good. B, I'm not that bad. And C, even if I was, shut the fuck up. I can fucking hear you. So it's a downside to it, but Back for Blood is, I very much want to go back and play with you guys, and I think that was, you're right, that was the reason why we didn't play again, because I went into a couple of groups, there weren't very nice people to play with. I don't want to hang out with them.
You can do it with just like 2 or 3 people, can't you?
Well, I think 3 people is the max. I think that's
I
your
thought
team.
I thought it was 4. Yeah, because back 4 blood.
Oh, you're right. It is 4 people, but you could play it with 2 or 3. It's just way harder. It's
Okay.
way more. It's because you kind of need the support stats of other characters to get you through.
Yeah, that's right. Because if they every card they get to boost team stuff increases you, so that's just
Right. And they have
twice too
innate
many.
characteristics that you can, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, um, so yeah, if you, oh, thank you for the trailer. I forgot to throw that trailer in. I could have done that. I was just lazy. Um, So yeah, that's my next item. You got anything?
Yeah. I have a couple here, then a couple like ones that I picked up over the course of the show because of Blood Reaper and Discord. Thank you. This is just an interesting one. Apparently, someone has survived a shot to the head from a Razer headset. This happened in Torrance, Canada, and take it with a grain of salt because it's someone on Reddit talking about their experience. But just they have
The
a
actual guy who got shot was on Reddit talking about it?
yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But basically, a bullet came through the window. He has a picture of like his window and the headset, and it looks like it's a very solid constructed headset with like a
Can you put
metal.
that on the screen?
Oh yes, um, and it's probably one of those situations where the bullet was not going fast enough to go through the window, but not quite fast enough to penetrate the metal of the headset, and so he just happened to be wearing it at the right time, and it bounced off. The person has
Oh,
filed
wow.
a police report with it. There's been no arrests about it. Um,
So it was just a random bullet
yeah, just
came
a
in.
random bullet coming through the window and thankfully bouncing off of a piece of metal that happened to be on his
Holy
head.
shit. So he absolutely he completely escaped injury because of it. It looks like.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
So by Razor, quality made, quality
Yeah.
construction.
Bulletproof, dare I say. Let's see. What else have I got? Oh, I got another interesting one. Epic got sued again for a copyrighted dance,
Oh,
but
the
this
dance stuff.
one is a little more involved and got potential for being much more challenging to Epic than the previous one. So, the story goes there was a professional choreographer named Kyle Hanagami, and he is a choreographer of some repute. He's worked with Britney Spears, NSYNC, Blackpink, and other pop stars, and he has actually copyrighted a dance in that he put to Charlie Puth's song "How Long" in 2017. It was part of his copyright submission. Fortnite has launched in August of 2020 a move that's called It's Complicated that is exactly the same. How exactly the same? Well, Hanagami's lawyer put a comparison up on YouTube. These are the
Huh.
Yep, pretty similar. Now you can't see this on the podcast, but yeah, it is absolutely freaking identical.
Yeah.
The difference between, say, the Floss Kid and all the other stuff that has happened in the past that Epic actually ended up having has successfully defended against. They had similar lawsuits from the Backpack Kid, Adolfo Ribeiro, and the rapper 2 Milli. They sued the company in 2018. The Supreme Court sided with Epic Games because the works in question weren't copyrighted. These are copyrighted.
They all copyrighted, and it's down to the hand movements. Like you can
Mm-hmm.
see, like at a certain point, he sticks out his hand with the index finger up, and the epic dance is the exact same.
Right.
Like it's down to that level of similarity.
Yep, exactly. So it is a complete open and shut. It's the same dance. It's the
Mhm.
same dance. Epic Games charges. It is a purchasable uh purchasable dance by players. So Hanamagi, of course, is suing our copyright that Epic Games is profiting from the choreographer because the emote is an in-game purchase that costs real money. This one, This one's got legs, not
Yeah.
just because it
Yeah.
dances. This one definitely has some legs, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Oh yeah, Blood Reaper makes a point that the other dances were too simple to be complicated, or to be copyrighted.
Mhm.
And yeah, this one's not. This one is very involved.
Very involved and successfully has a copyright.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Hmm.
yep. Uh, they're in trouble for that. Yeah, and boy, that video from the attorney, well edited, makes it very clear that it's not just kinda sorta, it is
Slow,
exactly the same.
like showing it
Slow
side by side,
motion.
then slow motion emphasis on the feet, slow motion emphasis on the hand, slow motion emphasis on the shoulder, like each angle, then you can see side by side.
Yeah, yeah. So, looks like Epic's going to be paying out a very large, considering now how much we know that Epic makes on these in-game purchases, Epic is probably going to be paying out a very substantial sum in a settlement. This is not going to trial. Um, by the way, incidentally, and I didn't know this, is that Epix began crediting the creators last year. This is according to Billboard. And it directly pays creators to use their viral dances after a bunch of creators, including Renegade choreographer Jalaya Harmon, called it out. So they have, even though they succeeded in the lawsuit, they have thrown concessions to professional choreographers in the past. They did not credit Hanagami on this one.
Hmm.
He was not credited at all. So it even like went he got even less credit than other choreographers
Yeah.
have.
Knowing that, I wonder what the process was like putting that dance into Fortnite. Like what engineer
Thought
went
that
in
was a good
and did
idea.
that? Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, what
This
else?
one you wouldn't have a little bumper sticker for. But a new Subnautica game is in development. And we know this because a job listing has been posted by the developer for a senior narrative designer to work with us to help shape the next game in the Subnautica universe.
Oh, cool.
So I'm really thrilled for that. That first game was an unexpected delight. That was one of my favorite games of 2020. I've not played the sequel, but it's on Game Pass, and I'll get to it. Maybe that'll be the thing that takes me from Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's
If you had a choice right now to play Elden Ring or Subnautica, would you play Subnautica? Or I should say Subnautica 2.
no. I would play Elden Ring.
Really? Oh, you got it bad. You have it so
So like
bad right now.
I know where I left off in Elden Ring. Like I'm in a cave, and like the way the cave systems work is there's always like a lever that you pull to unlock the boss door. And I found that lever. I pulled it, but I couldn't find the boss door. And so now I'm like, well, shit, I got to go explore that cave and find where the boss is. And then I've looked online to find. I've been using a Uchigatana samurai, like ninja sword, samurai sword for a while. I know there's another type of samurai sword called the Nagi Nagikiba that
Mhm.
has a longer reach. And so I looked online and I'm like, how do I get this sword? And I started to the progression of the quest for that. And I have to get to a certain church somewhere. I
Somewhere.
No, you know what? I have to get to the second church of Marika in the Atlas Plateau in order to get the Nagikaba from Yura, the bloody finger hunter. I'm throwing out proper nouns like a fucking
Wow.
machine gun because that's how deep into this game that I am.
It has bought you. It owns you now.
Yes. So I remember, like I said, in the beginning, there was like that tough hill to get over because I felt like everything could kill me. But now that like I'm strong enough, I'm like level 65, 70.
Mhm.
Like I'm a deep into the game and I can fight even things that may be too strong for me. I can still put up a good fight against them. Uh, and now it's just like, I want to see everything. I want to see all of this game. I want to explore every little corner. So yeah, its claws are deep, deep into me.
Well, when you're I don't know. When you get like this, it's going to be a really long time before you get out. I'm going to have to start playing some games so we have something to talk about.
No,
Otherwise, we're going to have short shows all the time.
there are like the past couple weeks, like 3 things have come out on Game Pass that I genuinely want to play very, very badly. Because I've been looking forward to them for a long time. And I've even downloaded them to my Xbox. I just haven't been able to quite break away. I will do that tonight. Tonight, I will turn on the Xbox and play one of the Game Pass games.
Are any of them multiplayer that we can play together?
I don't think so.
Of course not.
One of them was like Far
You're
Changing
such an
Tides.
antisocial bastard.
There's Tunic. Oh, shit, I have to see what do I have on. Wait, no, I turned on my computer, so I've got the Game Pass app right here.
So, in other news, while you're looking that up, I am
Okay.
healing now.
You're healing?
Remember we talked about it last week? No, that's right. We talked about it off the air. That
Oh, yes, the Huel. Yes.
I bought Huel just because I'm too
I
lazy
remember
to
that.
cook.
Yeah,
Oh no,
how's that
we
been?
talked about it on air that because I remember everybody's like, "Can't you just make a sandwich?" It's like, no, no, I'm not getting good nutrition because it's all I'm doing. It's like going inside and like, craft dinner, tuna sandwich, not eating balanced. It's
And?
fine. It's fine. It does exactly what it's supposed to do.
Okay.
That it fills you up and you're not hungry, and then a few hours later you're a little hungry or more, it goes away eventually. But yeah, I mean, it tastes okay. It tastes fine. I mean, it's good. It's good. I guess for meal replacement shakes that aren't, that's full of like vitamins and minerals and micronutrients and all that other stuff, it actually tastes not bad. I mean, I'm still eating. I made dinner, I made a Korean hot pot the other night. I ate at the ballpark. It's not like I'm not eating food,
Yeah.
but I'm not like breakfast. I'm not skipping breakfast because it's just too much of a hassle to do, which
Okay.
is not the right way to be treating your body. Oh yeah, just after the show, I did mention it. Yep. So, yeah, let's throw that up there, Huel. Sure, why not? Man, I hate the overall like marketing of the company, but so far I'm sort of liking the product.
I feel like that
Pete
says
says the game
something.
is awesome. Which game are you talking about? Are you talking about Subnautica or are you talking about Elden Ring?
Yeah, maybe Subnautica.
He's probably talking about Subnautica. Because everyone knows Elden Ring's awesome, right, Nick?
Yes, everyone does. Everyone should. You should play Elden Ring. Just get it.
No.
Just get it because everyone else has it.
You know why? Because I don't want to get good. I don't want to get good, Scrub. I just don't want to do that.
But don't you know, get good is
He
not a
did
taunt.
mean Elden Ring.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
He knows. He knows.
Yeah,
And
it's
don't you
at
know,
this
get
point,
good.
it's like a cult.
It's not a taunt.
I don't want to
It's
be a member of any club that would
get
want to have me as a
get
member.
good represents just the general arc of all of life. You work at something and you experience it, and you're a novice, you're a beginner, you're not that good at it, but as you work at it, as you try, your skill improves. That's just the natural arc of all things in this world, and the same thing applies to Elden Ring.
If that is the natural arc of everything in this world, why would I want to do that in a game? I play games to not experience this world at all. Not in
because
the least.
because
Nothing
it's a
in a bit.
fascinating world.
I like to play games where I am God. That is why I play City Skylines and World Box. I like to play God, where I can just determine what happens and make other people bow to me, their queen.
Well, then all you have to do is grind out like 250 levels, and then you could probably kill anything in that game. It'll take you like what 100 hours? What is
Not gonna happen.
what? That's nothing.
Not gonna happen. Wow, Pissed bought it for the PS5 and the Series X.
I like
Holy
I like the way
bucket.
you think.
And he says, Hail Hydra. Yeah, it's a cult. It's a cult.
Piss knows it. He gets it.
Blood Reaper says same. I don't need any other cult. Need to I think he meant to join any other cult. Uh Piss says, or she can do the steps to get overpowered in the first hour or two and be a god to the game for like 100 hours before meeting another challenge. True, could do that, but I actually might try Elden Ring because I do understand that it is just a death machine. Certainly early on, that you just die and die and die and die. But I have to be in the right mindset, and that is not the mindset I'm in right now.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
AC Ray says I have Elden Ring on a Steam wish list. I haven't gotten back to Dark Souls 3 or haven't even started Salt and Sanctuary. Well, one game you can start this week if you are interested in going into another cult. New World is having a free
Oh,
weekend right now. Maybe you haven't joined the hype train. Maybe you were interested in the hype train, but you didn't want to buy it. They're having a free weekend at the moment. If you're interested in trying the game, it's been available since Friday, I believe it was. It's going to end on April 11th. Once the weekend is over, the base game as the deluxe edition and the deluxe edition are both going to be 40% off. So that's a pretty hefty discount for both of them. And that discount is going to carry over until April 18th. So you've got an extra week to actually purchase the game on significant discount. In addition, they have introduced a new event that's happening right now that is all about rabbit murdering. It is called the Rabbit's Revenge. And apparently, all the rabbits are now sick of being murdered and skinned, and they're revolting.
really?
Yes.
This seems oddly goofy for what seemed like a game that took itself really seriously.
Yeah. Apparently, all the rabbits have got the plague. So they're spreading plague amongst the players, and the players have to kill more rabbits because the plague is affecting everybody. So yeah, if you were interested in New World, you can check it out. Remember, it is one of those Amazon MMORPGs the only Amazon MMORPG, and really the only Amazon game so far that has been even remotely successful. And it's got significant success.
I think it's the only one that released. I mean,
You're
well,
right. They abandoned. That's right. They abandoned a bunch of games, and New
yeah,
World was delayed and delayed and delayed, and then it came out, and it was not very good. But I guess that they've done some significant, uh, improvements that it's actually playable and enjoyable. So if you're interested in trying out Amazon's game, singular, now is a weekend to do it.
and then the final story I have is that Bungie has no, not Bungie. 343 Studios has detailed some of their season 2 battle pass for Halo Infinite, and it seems like they're taking a lot of user feedback into account, or I should say a lot of user complaints into account. One of the things they're changing is that You will now be able to earn enough credits within the battle pass to potentially buy another battle pass. This battle pass
Oh,
will be $10, which equals like 1,000 credits. Over the course of playing the battle pass, you will earn 1,000 credits. So in theory, if the next battle pass is the same, you could just buy it.
right. Or you get your credits back.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I know that's something that Fortnite has been doing forever, and they've added that in. They've also added in a lot more armor sets. One thing that's not included now, but they said they're working on, which again sounds like kind of a broken system, is that the way the customization works in Halo Infinite is you have helmets, you have like shoulder pads, you have chest pads, you have arm stuff, you have gloves, you have leg armor, all these uh, things customized to your limbs. The way it works is I can get shoulder pad X, but I have to use that with chest X and helmet X and leg X.
Okay, so they're sets. They're
Yeah,
not individual mix and match pieces.
yes. Which feels very frustrating because when you give people all these individual pieces, your first instinct is, hey, I want to mix and match things to make it look coolest. Especially when there are even color schemes that are locked to sets. Uh, they've said that they are in the process of changing that, of allowing people to mix and match things, but because the back end wasn't designed for that, they would have to go through and do it item by item, and even then some items won't work. So it's not a feature in season 2, but that does seem like one of the biggest complaints about how the customization works. They're actually in the process of changing that in a way that's for the best. No idea when it will come, but at least it's coming. Um, one of the modes, Halo Infinite, one of the biggest complaints has been that the number of modes you can play is really limited. Earlier this year, there was a time limited event that added a new mode called Ascension. Ascension is now being added as a permanent additional mode you can play in the
Oh,
game.
good, good.
Yeah.
Still no Griffball.
Still no Griffball, still no Forge for user created content, still no cooperative campaign. So, still missing some fundamental stuff.
When they get the co-op campaign, I know that you won't. You'll probably still be playing freaking Elden Ring, but I would love to play a co-op campaign with somebody.
I
Like,
would
who wants to commit to doing the campaign with me?
I would go and do that campaign. I was meh on the campaign, but I feel like going through with a friend would make it a lot more fun.
Right, because honestly, it feels really good. It feels like a Halo game.
Mhm.
It has that just great feel to it that made Halo what Halo is. It plays beautifully. It just is boring.
Yeah, I don't think the open world added anything to that game. Like
It made it worse because
Halo is known for like its set pieces. It's big, dramatic, intense, grandiose spectacle set pieces. And when you have an open world, there's just a lot of in between. And that
yeah.
doesn't really work in Halo because I'm just driving from point A to point B, getting into little skirmishes that aren't that exciting, and then that's it.
Yeah,
And
you
every
have
now
to
and
have
then
a really strong narratives or something to drive you through the world. Like, you know, like I'll look at another hugely popular open world game, Skyrim. It's open world, but it had a really, really, really strong narrative that drove you through. And you could divert into other interesting quest lines, but there was this main quest line that was just huge and it propelled you through the game.
I think, and even then, like you could
But Halo doesn't really
everything.
have that narrative, or it does,
No, it
but
doesn't.
only for
No.
the real, most hardcore Halo fans. It's not very inviting. If you are not like deep into Halo, you are not going to understand anything about it. It's not like making you want to go like I have no idea what I'm doing. Who are these people? Who's this girl? Cortana is evil. Is she? You know, I
Yeah. And even then, like Skyrim, you could everything you stumbled across in that world was potentially interesting. In Halo, everything you stumble across is, oh, here's a firefight. I did it. I won.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah. It's like, um, so yeah. I mean, if it goes multiplayer, I think that would be fun because always like FPSs that are multiplayer anyway. They're
Yeah.
just so much more fun to just actually, you know, play with people. That's the other thing that can propel you through a game
I think wasn't
is your
is Far
friends.
Cry multiplayer? We could always do
Mm,
Far Cry 6 multiplayer and just hang out and do that.
is it?
I have no idea.
I don't.
Let me check.
Far Cry hasn't been multiplayer in the past, has it?
It's had multiplayer, yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, you're right. It did. I remember playing Far Cry 5 multiplayer. It was all right. Multiplayer. I didn't particularly. I mean, it made such an impression with me. You could say. I don't think it was. Why do I want to think that it was multiplayer, but it was multiplayer only for specific areas? It wasn't the whole game being multiplayer.
Because I think it might have been that first time.
Because I,
And
kn- I,
this
kn-
this
I
looks like
remember doing multiplayer with people on Far Cry 5 for certain.
yeah,
That was the one about the cult in what, Colorado or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And it looks like you can like after you go through the intro and the tutorial and all that stuff, which is probably several hours, it looks like you can basically set your game up to be like drop in, drop out. And so
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the thing. AC Wraith is in the chat room says the thing with multiplayer FPS games is that an option for third person view requires balance changes due to seeing around corners, so it never happens and I never play. Yeah, because you have
Mm,
issues with seasickness for FPSs, which just is horrible. Um, And Piss says, I could commit to doing the campaign. I haven't done it yet. It would still be all new. Yeah, I just kind of dabbled in the campaign. So yeah, all right. When it goes to multiplayer, Pissed, you and me, we're doing this. We'll set up a time. We'll have a date night, so to speak, and crush this campaign so we could actually say that we finished off Halo. Um, did you have an answer? Is there multiplayer in
oh yeah,
Far Cry?
yeah. It like I said, you can set up to be drop in, drop out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but that means that it's Far Cry 6 on Game Pass?
No. And even then I have it on PlayStation.
Yeah, I'm not
But
buying Far Cry
I I
6.
I picked it up for $20. It's totally
Is it
worth
really
20 bucks.
that cheap now?
It was when I got it.
Yeah, when you got it, not when I would need to get it to play with you. Have you already played through it or did you stop at a
I
certain point?
stopped. I played a good chunk of it. Okay,
But
it's
not all of it.
it's $30 on Amazon.
It's a bit spendy for just something that I was gonna like. Now, Halo, I'm into. I will
Yeah.
absolutely do that. Yeah, I mean, your presence will get me into a game. I mean, Chivalry, for example. Last game in the world I would ever play. And we played it together and had a great freaking time.
Yeah.
And I've gone back and played it myself, and it's been okay, but it hasn't been a great freaking time. I would really love to have a Chivalry 2 night where it's just GameHounds players. Like, we just bomb the place with just all of us all together talking because it's just a small enough amount of us that we could actually do that and just play a night of just hacking and slashing, hopefully not each other, but probably hitting each other in the process.
Oh yeah, definitely hitting each other. Maybe not on purpose, but we would hit
Yeah.
each
Oh
other.
yeah. You absolutely do friendly fire in that game.
Mhm.
team damage, I should say. All right, I don't have anything else. Could this be the world? Woo, dates. Yeah. Yeah, you'll be my first date in what? 22 years. So, yeah. Uh Chivalry 2. Yeah, there's a link for it if you're interested in it. I recommend it. You just kind of have to lean in.
Yeah, it's a ton of
You
fun.
just have to lean in. Literally, when you play, you have to lean in. But on top of that, you need to lean into the fact that it is just
Just
lots and lots and lots of death.
it's dumb fun.
Dumb
If
fun.
you can grind your way to a crossbow, holy shit, that
Yeah.
thing is a murder machine. I
It is.
I got it the last time we played, and it's so much stronger than the bow and arrow. I'm just like, kill, kill, kill. Holy shit, this is the greatest I've ever done in this
Yeah,
game.
but I now have the crossbow and I've gone into it when I haven't been playing with you,
Mhm.
and it is great for some maps.
Yes, that's true.
Not all of
Yeah.
them. In fact, in some of them, it's awful and it is bad, bad, bad. But yeah, crossbow is pretty fun.
And yeah, as an archer, you don't want people to be able to get behind you.
Yeah, yeah, you have to spend a lot of time. It's bad for close quarters. That's just good for open areas where you can actually get uh some defense between you and whatever you're shooting.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's a murder machine, but your murder, not theirs. I don't have really much anything else to talk about. You don't have anything else to talk about because now you're bringing up stuff that we don't even have like banners for.
Yeah.
You're at that stage. This could be the shortest Game Hounds in a really long time. And you know why?
Because
Fucking
of
Elden
Elden
Ring.
Ring?
That's why. Fucking Elden Ring is
Hey,
killing my show.
you could have played other things other than Cities Skyline.
Yeah, but that's not what's killing the show. It's fucking Elden Ring. You're the one who
Hey.
plays all the new games. I just like totter
If
around like
I could go into way more detail about Elden Ring.
please do not.
I could talk to you about Caelid. Do you want to know my experiences in
No.
Caelid?
I stand up. I take it back. Everything I said was wrong. Elden Ring is
All the
great.
Scarlet
And I'm
Rot
so
in
no.
Caelid,
Let's
it's oh.
let's not. Let's not.
I'm at Castle Redmane trying to get in a tournament to fight not Radagon.
No, let's not talk about that.
Oh.
Can we
Radon.
can we end the show?
I will say there was a boss who got nerfed after a patch and was then buffed at a recent patch, and I'm about to fight that boss now. So
We should have got him when he was nerfed. Poor
yeah.
guy.
Yep. I'm gonna get slaughtered.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm there for.
Yep. All right. So can we end the show now? Please?
Yeah. Again, AC Wraith again recommends Star Dynasties. He says you could have a new flag that's a chicken on a pig, on a cow, on a slurm worm.
Star Dynasties. I will look into this. I will look into this as soon as we're off the air. This sounds interesting. I am intrigued.
Just say slurm worm.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you just said slurm worm. A chicken on a slurm worm, and I would have been there. All right. On that note, let's close this out. Wrong bumper. Let's close this out. You've been listening to GameHounds, episode 640. Well, no, I wrote 644 on the thing. It's actually 634. We did record this on Sunday, April 10th, 2022. I'm Edie Sellers. With me has been Nick DiNicola. Ways to get a hold of us. Gamehounds.net is our website. Gamehounds@gmail.com is our email. We record this show live every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. On YouTube, We are GameHounds Vids. That's GameHounds VIDS is in videos, all one word. On Facebook and Twitch, we are the GameHounds. Please feel free to join us for our video cast live. We would love to have you, especially if you are one of our um, podcast listeners. Do appreciate all of our patrons. If you are interested in joining our Patreon pays for our video show, which in turn is where we get our audio show. So it all fits together. By donating to our Patreon, you actually support all of the ways that you can listen to us. If you want to listen to us by the way, Patreon is patreon.com/the GameHounds. If you're interested in joining our Discord, you can find information about that on our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/the GameHounds. And one other thing, we were talking about the patrons. Oh, if you want to listen to us as a podcast, go to iTunes. I am going to work this week into getting us onto other platforms, but there's going to be 2 different GameHounds that you see on YouTube. If you look up GameHounds podcast, the one that comes from Wizard Media is the one you want, because they are through Libsyn. Libsyn has been our shining star for saving this show. Between the patrons and Libsyn, you guys are literally the saviors of the show. Thank you so much, Libsyn, for being as wonderful you are. Thank you, patrons, for being as wonderful you are. Thank you for listening, and we will talk to you next Sunday here at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Take care, everyone. Be safe. And we're out for the audio show. We're still in with the video. Let me save this so that I don't lose 2 hours worth of podcast.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. This is GameHounds GH634 raw. I wrote 633 or 644. It's 634 actually. I have to change everything. So what you got going this week? Anything interesting?
Some stuff. Jupiter has his surgery this upcoming Friday.
Really?
Yes.
Joopy.
So excited for that. I booked tickets to go to New York in June.
What's in New York in June?
A family reunion, not mine.
Oh, we're meeting the girlfriend's family. Oh. Wow.
So just a couple days doing that, and then actually a couple days in Manhattan.
Nice. Have you been to Manhattan before?
Nope. Never been there.
It's neat. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Okay. You can give me some recommendations on what to
Grimaldi's Pizza.
do. Grimaldi's Pizza. Okay.
In Brooklyn. Best pizza I ever had.
Okay. And we still have to go out for dim sum, but I don't know about next Saturday because that's the day after Jupiter's surgery. And
yeah, no.
I don't know how I feel about leaving
go the weekend after.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for hearting Libsyn, by the way. Let's see. Thank you for the hearts for Libsyn.
What? How do you? Clearly, I've never done this. I can't get the shape right.
You can do the Korean.
Yeah. Heart. That's. Wait.
No, is that it? Yeah, there we go. That's it.
No, isn't
there?
It like?
Yeah.
No, isn't that correct?
Uh-huh. That's correct.
Okay. Yeah. That's easier.
Love you, Libsyn. It just looks like I'm flipping you off. No, I'm not. Love you, Libsyn.
love you, Libsyn.
love you, Libsyn. It's a heart. AC Ray says, "Have we met her on the podcast? How do we know you're good? She's good enough for you."
She is. You can rest assured.
She's probably he's not good enough. He's really, if Nick is a pretty good judge of character when it comes to women.
Thank you.
Yeah, the bird is for Konami. Fuck Konami.
Yes. Yeah. Konami, Activision, Blizzard. The bird gets around.
Yeah, it does. All right, I am gonna go get myself some lunch.
Some Huel.
No, I've already had Huel for breakfast. I'm gonna go get myself some lunch. And actually, I guess it's dinner because it's 4:00 here. This is the earliest that we've
I know.
ended.
It's only a 2-hour podcast.
Got 45 minutes of my life back. That's crazy talk.
See, you should want me to play more Elden Ring.
No, I don't want you to play more. Well, however much Elden Ring you play is fine. However much Elden Ring you talk about is not fine. I can't make this an Elden Ring podcast. I really can't. 45 minutes of you talking about Elden Ring. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's falling asleep.
Rainey wants me to find Nocturne, the Eternal City, and I've found it. I've been there, but I don't know how to trigger that in her quest. I don't know how to get her to realize that I've been there. I was there with Blyde, her loyal servant.
Nick,
Wolfman.
stop. Just stop.
I like Blyde. He's cool. He's a wolf guy. I had to snap.
Yeah, Nick, it's a Crusaders Kings podcast. Fuck you, AC Ray. Fuck you.
I like hearing about Crusader Kings.
I do not like to be called out on my own shit. Fist said, yes, we can. Elden Ring. No. If Nick wants to start his own Elden Ring podcast, he can.
I will say, at the very least, unlike other From Software Souls games, I have just fully given into basically the way I played Subnautica of, I want to do X, just Google it, find out what I have to do, keep that tab open on my tablet. The internet browser on my tablet is just tabs of Elden Ring stuff. Just so that I remember, okay, this is how I get that sword. These are the stats for that sword, which is how much you have to upgrade it. This is that quest.
I forgot which game that I did that with. That I was like, I had notebooks and shit.
Billy the Prolapsed really could be an enemy in Elden Ring. Like, it's...
I don't want to see that fight. There's
a solid 50-50 chance. And yeah, that boss fight, he's tough. He swings that prolapsed ass like you would not believe.
Oh, God, no, it's like a third arm. No. I'm really sorry I taught any of you what a rectal prolapse is. We don't need to do a show. We could just let people just go off and do their own Elden Ring comedy show. Oh my God. So messed up. A hairless, moist wolf.
There is a fight where a guy takes a dragon head and grafts it to his arm. It could just be a hemorrhoid.
We'll have to make sure that's part of Ookie Bookie Spelookie.
Oh yeah, the hemorrhoid wolf.
Yeah, he would definitely have a poison or blood rot floor.
oh, absolutely.
All right.
Billy the Prolapse just spews scarlet rot everywhere.
Like a fire hose.
Yeah.
Like a water weenie everywhere. Oh, so messed up. So messed up. Why Do I? Why do I hang out with you people? You're awful. Why do we always end, keeping up with the game hounds like tradition? The best part of the show is after the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all right. So I'm gonna go get some FUD, and I guess I'll talk to you sometime this week. Let's try
Yeah.
let's try and play something. I know I'm gonna have to drag you away from Elden Ring, but let's try and
That's
play
okay.
something.
I would let you drag me away.
Aw,
Mm-hmm.
that sounds sweet. You're the one who said water weenie. Yeah, right. All right. Case in point. I stand I stand, chastised. Gentlemen, thank you for a really good laugh. I needed the belly laugh. And ladies, if you are watching, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Um, have a great week, everyone. Please do be safe out there, especially. Well, I'm not even especially. There's a new variant. It's we're on the cusp of having our summer surge. It's not really getting a lot of attention right now because I think that we're surged out, but there is another surge that cases are increasing, especially in the Northeast right now. But if it's going to happen here, it's just a matter of time. Wherever you are, it's going to happen. So just be safe, even if there's not mandating masks at this point. Just be aware they're dropping the mask mandates just at the time that we are going to get our winter surge or summer surge. So yeah, probably should have just left them up, but that's what happened. So just be smarter than other people, and just tr- treat it like a surge because it's a surge. It just hasn't made the news yet. Have a great week, everyone. Be well. Bye bye.